Good evening. The Supreme Court is once again weighing the limits of presidential power in a case that could reshape the modern administrative state. The case before the court involves the Federal Trade Commission, the same agency at the center of a landmark 1935 ruling. Back then, the court decided that President Franklin D. Roosevelt could not fire the leaders of independent federal agencies without cause, establishing protections that have lasted nearly a century. That decision gave rise to powerful independent agencies overseeing labor relations, employment discrimination, and even the airways. But proponents of the so-called unitary executive theory argue that these agencies misinterpret the Constitution. They say all executive branch leaders should answer directly to the president, including the power to fire them at will. Justice Antonin Scalia famously wrote in a 1988 dissent that the president holds all of the executive power, a view that has gained traction among conservatives. Under Chief Justice John Roberts, the court has steadily expanded presidential removal powers. In 2020, he wrote that a president's power to remove agency heads is the rule, not the exception. And in a 2024 ruling, he reinforced that Congress cannot restrict the president's firing authority. But not all legal experts agree with this interpretation. Caleb Nelson, a law professor at the University of Virginia, says the Constitution's text and history are more ambiguous than the court suggests. Jane Manners, a historian at Fordham University, has submitted briefs highlighting historical context that could influence the court, though she admits, "I'm not holding my breath." In the current case, the lawyers for the plaintiffs argue that limits on presidential power align with history and the Constitution. The Justice Department, however, contends that the president should be able to fire agency board members for any reason, calling the 1935 precedent egregiously wrong. The case could also impact the Federal Reserve. Even if a firing is deemed illegal, the court may decide whether judges can reinstate the employee. Justice Neil Gorsuch has suggested that while back pay may be possible, reinstatement might not be. The Supreme Court will hear additional arguments in January regarding whether Federal Reserve Governor Cook can remain in her position as she challenges her firing in court. The justices appear cautious about the economic uncertainty that could follow if presidential firing powers expand unchecked. We'll continue to follow this case closely as it unfolds at the highest court in the land.